You know those huge decisions we all have to make where the future is just a total mystery? It's tough. How do you make the right call when you're surrounded by uncertainty? Well, today we're going to break down a really powerful tool that helps you make much smarter bets in situations exactly like these.
I mean, think about it. Which job offer should you take? Which piece of real estate is the right investment? Should your company pull the trigger on that new project? These are really high stakes choices, the kind that can totally define our careers and, our lives. And because none of the outcomes are ever guaranteed, it honestly feels like we're just rolling the dice. We're relying on pure guesswork, a gut feeling, and it can be incredibly stressful. But what if we could bring some actual structure to all that uncertainty? Let's dive into a method that helps us move way beyond just simple guesswork. Seriously, what if there was a way to quantify the possibilities, to actually calculate the most logical choice? That's the big idea we're going to unpack right now.
This tool is called expected value, and it's basically a way to assign a concrete number to each potential path you could take. Now, to really get it, we need to look at three key ingredients.
Okay, first up is something called the state of nature. This is just a fancy term for a future event that is completely out of your hands. Like, will a new road get built near a property you're thinking of buying? Or will customer demand for your new product be super high or kind of low? These are the variables you can't control, but you have to work around them.
Next up is the payoff. This one's simple. It's the outcome you get when your decision smacks into one of those states of nature. So, for example, if you decide to buy the property and the road gets built, your payoff might be a huge profit. But if that road doesn't get built, the payoff is a whole lot smaller. And finally, the star of the show, expected value itself. So how do you calculate it? You take every single possible payoff, you multiply each one by the chance it'll happen, its probability, and then you add all those results up. Think of it as the average outcome you'd get if you could make the same bet over and over and over again. Let's see how this actually works in practice. So here we've got an investor choosing between two properties, Bivens Tract and Noonan Tract. The final outcome really depends on three possible states of nature. No road is built, a road is built this year, or it's built next year. You can see each of those has a different probability. The calculation is pretty straightforward. You just multiply the potential value of each property in each scenario by its probability. And boom! After running the numbers, the expected value for the Bivens Tract property comes out to $33,500. Since that's higher than the other property, the analysis points to a clear winner. Mathematically, Bivens Tract is the best bet. But hold on a second. While this is an absolutely fantastic tool, it is not foolproof. The calculated expected value can actually be seriously misleading, especially for those one-off you only get one shot kind of decisions. Let's take a look at this satellite launch. Okay, so there is an 80% chance of a successful launch, which is valued at $25 million. Great, but there's also a 20% chance of total failure, which is valued at, well, 0. You do the math, and it gives you an expected value of $20 million. And here is the huge catch. The company will never see an outcome of $20 million. It's impossible. The satellite either works perfectly and makes $25 million, or it's a catastrophic failure and a total loss. The expected value here represents an impossible average, a number that literally cannot happen in a single high-stakes event like this.
And here's another classic problem: risk. This luxury yacht dealer runs the numbers and finds that stocking 2 yachts gives the highest expected value, $225,000. But look closer. That decision also comes with a potential loss of $100,000 if demand is 0. A dealer who's a bit more risk-averse might prefer to stock only 1 yacht to avoid that massive potential loss, even if the expected value is lower. The best choice on paper isn't always the best human choice.
So, how do we make this model smarter? How do we account for these limitations? Well, we can stress test our own assumptions using a brilliant technique called sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis is really all about asking one simple question: what if my probability estimates are wrong? It's a way of revealing just how much your final decision hinges on the accuracy of your initial guesses. It's basically a way to check your own blind spots. Okay, let's go back to our yacht dealer and see this in action. On the left, using those original probability estimates, stocking 2 yachts is the clear winner, right? But now look at the right. Here, the dealer is testing a different scenario, one where they think demand for just a single yacht is much more likely. And just like that, the optimal decision completely flips. Stocking just one yacht becomes the best choice. This tells the dealer that their entire strategy is super sensitive to those market forecasts. So what you see is, by combining expected value with sensitivity analysis, we completely transform our approach. We're not just guessing anymore, we're building a real, robust strategy. You see, the real benefit here isn't about finding one single magic number. This whole process organizes your thinking. It forces you to map out every possibility and what could happen. And maybe most importantly, it shines a giant spotlight on your most critical assumptions, those probability guesses that could change absolutely everything. Expected value isn't a crystal ball. It's a tool that reveals the hidden logic driving your biggest decisions. So the next time you are facing a major crossroads, don't just guess. Think about the states of nature. Think about the potential payoffs and the probabilities. So let me ask you, what's one big decision in your life right now that could benefit from this kind of structured thinking?